Good evening and welcome to Laughing Monkey Music Show. We have Stephen Pierce back. How are you doing?
Great. How you doing?
Doing good. Today we are promoting Nothing to Lose, and we got a couple things to talk about. I
Hmm.
saw it already. It's great. It's fantastic. It follows along, and it actually is a nice filler for reading the book a few years ago. So it's a nice companion piece. Uh,
Hmm.
very, very fun. But
Thank you.
even before we start all of that,
Yeah.
delving into that, let's talk a little bit. Always the hot question of the update of the Rat reunion. Probably first. What's going on?
Which has turned into, a statement I made, like I really wouldn't do another Rat record unless it was all the original members.
Right.
Um it pretty much started there, and then the subject started coming up, of course, a Rat reunion. And me, of course, it's business. And if it happens and we can make it happen, because I mean, put it this way, it's the fans, our friends that are calling us out. It's not even us. It's not even me going, I want a reunion. It's everybody else going, you guys need a reunion. So, call it what you may. If it happens, that would be great. And if it doesn't, well, the legacy will be told on Back for More, the next project, or it'll be part 3 of Nothing to Lose, which is actually a 3-part series, and we'll see where it ends up. We'll
Right.
see what happens.
Okay. Well, it does seem to be a question that comes up a lot. I wanted to talk about it. It feels like it's an easy question, but it seems to be coming up a lot. And I think what happens is because when you tour with the Rat Bastards
Mhm.
and then you tour as Rat, is the only difference now Rat with, because you have Juan with you, is that the difference of making it Rat? Because when you say you want to do the album with all the guys, but you tour with Rat with just Juan, I think it confuses the fans.
Of course. And what I'm doing now is we Rat with Juan and I, and no disrespect, I've said it, we've had a bunch of players coming and going, and that's what I always wanted to prevent from happening with this band. I think all of us did.
But I do
But
agree there. You got some good players to do right now too. They are really good players. I just think it's those
sure,
that other team of players though. That's all.
I agree. No disrespect, but hey, look, you can call my solo band Rat. I'm singing. They're my songs.
But
Hey,
I think what
they're
people are
just
saying.
yeah, they're great musicians too. So you give them one or the other. Right now, it just happens to be my Rat Bastards, because there's so much going on, and some restructuring that needs to be done for Rat to make the next move. I mean,
Yeah.
it just kind of, I think it cuts our audience short and our fans to say, hey, here's Rat, when it really isn't. I that just kind of bugs me. So there you go, right there.
I know it's for some reason, just for from some clubs or promoters, they're going to put Rat no matter what you do, or they're going to say Rat is a different marquee name. Some people only know Rat is going to be this experience, even though it could be you and Juan. They know they're still going to get the package, so there's still that confusion. But the hardcore fans are like, to us is this, Queen is this to us, Aerosmith is this, and that's kind of what it is.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah. I mean, so
um,
I mean, that's it. I mean, I would love to see the remaining guys, you know, give it a last lap, the victory lap, so to speak. And because look, me personally, I have other interests and other things going, and I don't want to be jumping around on stage for another however many years. You never know. And I gotta say, rest in peace, Dusty Hill. And then a couple of guys the other day, and then Jeff LeBar. I mean, look, we're not indestructible. I mean, you know what I'm saying? We're not going to
I
be
do.
around forever. So hey, I think about that. Like, if we're going to dabble in something, let's do it, or let's not do it, and at least leave a decent legacy, instead of all these guys out there trying to play flipping and flopping, and you don't know who's who. All you know is the brand and that singer guy. you
Right.
know so that's where I'm at on it.
That being said, it feels like the only holdout right now is we got to get everyone. Maybe it's just the people do. We got to get Warren to do it. Juan's with you. Bobby's already played with you. You guys have great to see you guys hug and jam together. Bobby still got it. It sounded great. And
Yeah.
you guys, it's actually do a clip of it. It's also in your streaming event. I recommend people see. So really, the only person who hasn't done it is Warren right now. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it's up to the guy. I mean, look,
okay.
we're trying to get a rapport going here, and we'll see what happens. But something like this, we've been around like 37 years, and you got to start thinking about how long do you really want to do this? How long can you do it? Uh,
And
it's
sound
become
good.
Yeah, and then where we come from, the 80s genre is a brilliant decade. And I think people are grasping at that, and it's good to want to relive. But me personally, I just don't want to give them the bullshit, no disrespect to anybody, because they're great players, like you say. But we'll see what happens, I mean, you never know. Never say
I hear
never.
you. No, that's right. You're James Bond. I think it's one of the questions that comes up still a lot, even to me, and I still read it where I wanted to keep addressing it currently because that's what people are. So that being said, the biggest thing that surprised me in your special was the talk of cancer. Stephen, how
Mm.
are you? What's going on, man? Let's talk about
Well,
that.
yeah, when I found out, and everything's kind of copacetic now. I'm on a ritual and monitoring things, and right there again, do I really want to put myself through all this stuff with you taking care of your health and the broken bones and knees, staph infection? I don't know why I'm still here. But look, I'm appreciating every day and minute above ground here, because all of our peers are seemingly disappearing, and it's such a drag. But it's under control, and I never wanted to bring it up until I really started feeling guilty about it. Like, how I found out is just through a blood test. I had, a hepatitis. Well, then getting another checkup, I found out, by the way, you've got a bit of cancer thing going there. We got to get in there. Then your whole world changes.
Yeah.
So I didn't feel like it needed to be out there until I started feeling guilty. Like, wow, man, I could help some people. Get blood tests. Take care of yourself.
If you help one person,
Moderate.
that's it. You know what I mean? If you help one person that saves their life, it's worth it.
Yeah, I mean, get a blood test, find out if you have hepatitis. You have hepatitis. Hopefully, it doesn't turn into a cancerous thing, because it easily can. And now I'm, the advocate of, hey, take care of yourself. I don't need to, get all of this. You know what I mean? It's a little personal to me, but I felt it was time to share it. And I went on the road 9 days after surgery, not even knowing the outcome of my surgery, removing the cancer and stuff. So that was pretty interesting. So, my, if I'm devoted and into something, I'm into it. But then again, I have to start thinking about how long I want to be out here doing this. And you start thinking about other things, life
I,
things.
no, I agree. I mean, you've got family, you've got, the best thing in the world. And this is something you haven't said. I want to address it. What was really good is you're very downplayed. You didn't want to put it out there very personal. You don't want to cry about things. You want to kind of soldier
Yeah.
on. But at this time it was going on, you were also battling your knee issues. And then that incident of the video, I mean, people bully and get on and criticize. You didn't say anything. You didn't go, well, is this? You kind of kept it to yourself. And this is
Yeah.
really something that people need to know. Like, you know what? There's so much else going on in people's lives. First, it's mostly just the keyboard warriors. A few people that do it are usually the loudest, but they jump on this bandwagon. There's so much else going on. If somebody's not having an off night day, everyone has their own personal battles, man. You
Sure.
battling cancel and stats, these all sorts of stuff. And God forbid somebody has takes medication or so what? Who cares if you do take a drink? You what everyone has the best day. Everyone's, you know what I'm saying? God forbid that's their
Sure.
worst moment on video.
Yeah, and you know, I should have like monitored myself better and took it easy, but you know what? The knees were one thing. I mean, yikes, that was enough. But then a double whammy with finding out about the C. But you know, now I feel like I need to say something just because. Hey, take care of yourselves. I want to see my, you know, our fans and friends. I want to see them around. I mean, we've gotten to know a lot of these people 36, 7 years later, you know. And like you say, if it can help one or two or however many people, then great. I know some really good friends of mine that are in worse shape, you know, and it's just a terrible thing, you know. Yeah, you know, and I've lost family through it, and it was time to step up and say, well, unfortunately, you got smacked, Steven. So do something positive about it, you know, without being poster child, which I really don't want to be. I just
Right. And
want
you
to,
can tell you're very uncomfortable about it because I know you don't want to preach about it because that's not
yeah,
your gig, but I will take a minute and say, you know, thank you. And also to add to people, this is a perfect example. Stop being pariahs online. You
yeah,
don't know what's going on with people. This is a perfect
sure.
example. Steven didn't complain about cry about it. It just came up as a side effect of this. And then by reading this and knowing other pieces and putting it together, people were just beating up on you when you were dealing with other real health issues.
Yeah,
And it happens all everywhere though. I'm saying the rest of the world, this is a
sure.
good example. They people should just start to back off on stuff.
Mm,
So watch your health, please.
yeah.
Everybody don't just check your blood, but get all your checkups, man. All this,
Oh,
man.
100%. And it's
Get your
very important.
mammograms, get everything. Cancer is scary, some scary stuff, man. Get
Yeah, and
everything.
I've lost a lot of friends, and you know, I mean, a lot of friends from this. And look, we're getting older. It's okay. You know, I still feel like I'm 20 something, but you know, I just don't act it. And you just got to really take care of yourselves, you know, because I talk to some of my friends out there and friends, you know, they let me
Mhm.
in. I talk to them. It doesn't need to be public. I'll talk to
No,
somebody if they're having a, you know, a life trip, and why not? You know, I mean, hey, if you can help somebody, you can help somebody, you know.
yeah, well, the mortality of everybody was we're learning. So
Yeah.
that's great. I'm glad you put that in there. I'm glad you didn't kind of, you know, one of the favorite things about the show is in this process. So the documentary, people haven't seen it. It literally goes the soup to nuts through Steven's life, and this is part one, as you said.
Yeah.
What's really great is so it starts off. You go through pictures. It's really got this not guerrilla style, but you really feel like you're walking with Steven through a thing. It's kind of like the casual like our interviews, where you really feel like you're just right there. You know, it's right out there. You're talking. You're shuffling papers. It's a really nice format.
Cool.
It's very comfortable. That being said, taking time and talking about Christy and her background and everything that she does
Hmm.
was really, I really like that because people say talk, you know, publicly say my girl is that helped me. And a lot of times rock guys have their girl helping them and it's a position, it's not, you know what I'm saying?
Mm.
You showed the list, you know, by speaking about it in the show, what she's done and what she does and the
Hmm.
credits of that you're not messing around. She is a full on music partner
Yeah, and
with the
it's
talent.
unfortunate
And it's
that,
important that she got that
yeah,
acknowledgement.
100%. And it wasn't, you know, we just have so much in common. We think the same in business, and we have great ideas, and so we just utilized our interest, which is music, film, writing, producing, and things I've always wanted to do. This is nothing new. I've wanted to do
But
this stuff for
publicly
years.
though, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I've presented many shows and have stuff at the Guild, and so I've been dabbling in this. It's just now that I have, you know, I'm making time in my life to do other things, and one of them is creating these great shows. And there's a lot of funny shit that's going to be coming down. Another show we have is it's going to blow people's mind, but everything in moderation and time. So you know, we're going to do part two and part three of Nothing to Lose, and they'll change
Mhm.
with titles, and we'll eventually maybe see what'll happen to Rat. Uh, but there's other stuff. Back for More is next on the table, and that's going to be a great program. And it's about the legacy artists want to leave. to their fans and get in depth, and it's going to be entertaining, to say the
And that's
least.
sort of the episode. That's more the docu style series that you're going to be as a host, speaking with your peers, right?
Yes. And I can call anybody out. That's the difference, you see. You calling me out is one thing, but me calling my peers out is a whole nother ball game, because I
Right.
can call bullshit.
Well, yes, that's a good point. Well, if I didn't believe in what I said to you, I wouldn't be speaking to you. So at least it's after a point as I do. I do back what I say. But that actually is an interesting point. And you could probably get more of an interesting, because you have camaraderie, you have a relationship with them, so you can talk differently. I think the levels will go right to a certain point. You know what I mean?
And
So the
some of my
wall can go
peers that
down.
I would have liked to have done Back for More with, they're not around. I mean, they're just recently dropped. I mean, holy shit. Like I wouldn't have loved to see if Ed, you want to chat for a while and jam and let me in on what your legacy is. I mean, shit, we already know what his legacy is, but I would have loved to just ask, hey, brother,
You would have said yes.
because we don't know. I mean, look, you could be here today, gone tomorrow, and I've always looked at things a little differently. Once you start getting smacked around, you think a little different.
Yeah, that's incredible. But so kudos on on having Christy get some props on that one too. That was pretty great. Who
Thank you.
came up with the style of shooting it though? So I'm sure you probably discussed different formats. Like it could be like behind the music or this kind of format. You know what I'm saying? Different film style and shot. Or do you take a camera, a high def camera, of course, quality. It's quality footage. If you take it like you're walking with them, like you're part of the group.
Yeah.
It's not a rock entourage. It's not that. It's we're going to the venue. We're going to the house. Hey, I'm just meeting you. Like literally, that plays into you met the woman for the house. When you saw your house, that wasn't like 100% free setup because she was surprised. The whole situation was happening live on that moment. So nothing. So
we did. We wanted a different approach. We just didn't want to do your standard. Hey, this is where we come from, because everybody has the wrong information on Rat anyway. This is why another reason why I really wanted to do this is to let people in on the real poop, not what you've read or what you hear. It's almost like me singing my lyrics, and they're totally wrong. Nobody knows what I'm writing about. They get the words, the lyrics all wrong. So this is kind of like that. Let's put it into perspective. This is the real word. This is the real place. And the story's never been told about how I started Rat and the people involved. And it was time. It was time. And nobody can do it better except us. So that's what we did. We wanted it to be direct with the guys from Asai, Brandon, and we just wanted to lay it out there right. Something different,
You've got a lot of people involved in the first process. I mean, you went to the house where the accidents.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing short of actually tracking down the nurses that helped you.
Yeah,
you
right.
Have a lot of people. That's like the only missing piece, really. I mean,
I could have
a lot
there.
of people in there.
We could have gone there. I mean, it was a trip to be back in the house. My parents passed there. My mom was real religious, and we totally gave that respect and paid respects and I mean,
but you left that
the
in and you
stuff
showed
that went on.
It felt very personal. I mean, it felt like there's a crossing of like, it's like, oh.
Yeah. And so we wanted it to be real. There's no need to bullshit. And so many things have been said that are misinterpreted. And so I just want to lay it out there properly and give everybody the credit they deserve, and even in the band, per se, because a lot of people, I mean, look, like Matt Thorne, he's an old, a lot of people have spent time in Rat through its, beginning period, 1981 to 1983, till we had the original guys. And Matt Thorne, had a bit of writing for Back for More. I mean, he had to remind me. I'm like, well, no shit, thanks, So we're letting people in on some even smaller things, that you wouldn't.
Yeah, because I like to think I know a good amount of Rat. I'm not pretending I know a ton, but I was enjoying coming across the stuff in this episode, because I was like, oh, I didn't know that. It was fun.
Yeah.
So it's even as a longtime fan, you're not going to be like bored. I mean, you see a softer side of you, and you see,
Yeah.
who you really are, not the party all the time guy.
Uh,
That's
well,
just who you become. You know what I'm saying? You see Piercy, it's
yeah,
like,
I get you. Yeah, it's the it's the persona, and it's like I've always been this guy. You turn on the switch and you get out there and do your gig. The minute I walk off stage, I turn that switch off and try to leave that dude over there because he's quite a handful, and so it's there's some fun stuff in there.
well, that's the good part. I'm saying that's the whole thing. Is this what you're doing now, and with Chrissy, you're showing more of the business team you are, the business guy you are, is a whole other side. This everyone's seeing more.
Sure. And the racing, my first love is racing. I was supposed to be racing cars, not yelling at you and playing guitar, writing songs. That was never my intention. Unbeknownst to me, and a lot of people probably don't know a lot of what we're going to be talking about. The next part 2 is going to be the great one because it's going to go more into the musicians and actually going, well, here's the arena world, guys. Welcome to it. And then you go through that whole trip, and then part 3 will be a whole nother program. See if there's a final lap.
It's got to be. We're gonna have to have a talk to Warren. Well, everyone reach out to Warren, and we'll be like, get your blood test, and then come on down and then sign on for this final lap. We need not for you, for the family, for the rest of the fans.
Yeah.
You have a lot of photos as you actually see in it. Do you have a lot of video too?
Unfortunately, in the 70s, no. I wish I did. I actually mentioned it earlier. I don't know what made me want to take pictures of things, and from day one, I just don't get it. But this is probably
later on,
why.
didn't you though? Didn't later on? I thought later on though you did some video like during Rat and stuff. Wasn't he someone was always doing a camera sometimes?
Yeah, I have more music. I have more music than visual video. There's some good stuff, but
I think that would be part of that.
Yeah, I wish I had the 70s footage. That's what we're missing.
Sweet. So is that being said? Part of the process, and during this, it was really great. I think at the end, you went to you did the show, and you introduced a lot of the Rat Bastards too. You gave a lot of props to everybody prior to the show, and then who's in the team now. As you say, it's always ever changing. And then you behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And one of the things you talk about a lot is you fight people to guard your product, the band name, and putting stuff out. You're pretty good about that. How goes the battle with some of the YouTubers? And I know I've actually reached out before, some people posting and taking other products of yours still.
Yep. Yeah. And they go out there, they go out there thinking, well, I'll make the money off of their performance. And I monitor the stuff pretty well, especially if it has to do with, our brand, the merch, or like right here, there's DVDs of concerts all over the place. I just pick them up from the bootleggers and they say, thank you very much. And I'll put it out properly, Well,
I think the worst kick right now was the streaming thing, seeing that. Because I knew I saw that and, I was like, what? That was something you guys were going to put out. You just did. That was insane as out there right now.
Yeah. Yeah. It's unfortunate, man. You thought Napster was a problem, it's everything else now. I mean, how many bootleggers can there be, so we do what we can. Definitely.
It's frustrating, if people see that kind of stuff and they see it on YouTube, they know it's not from Steven. You could always just report it. Just report it. It's really easy.
You got it.
That's the way to do it. Let's talk about touring. What are you doing now and keeping your health going too, now that I know you're
well, everything's kind of slowed down, and it's not because I want to slow them down. It's just because I have other things happening, and one of them being in our production company. And the ideas are finally going to be able to come to play with the right people. And it took patience, and it took years. This just didn't happen. You know, it's been a process. And then fortunately having a partner who just loves the same thing, you know, creating the visual, and it's great. It's all good. So now's the time to utilize this time to doing these other projects. And, you know, Rat, we'll see what happens 2022. But for right now, it's just going to go out and do the Rat Bastards, my guys, and go out there and play Rat songs. You know, it's the same thing. I still get off on it. I still love playing around it. I still love Lay It Down. All these songs.
Well, I think everybody loves them. Everybody loves them. I just think people, you know, there's people I haven't seen actually. Some of those guys play. Honestly, like Warren and you know, and Bobby really don't play it anyhow. So just they're also their favorite players. To see all their favorite people together. In the unit that was, so it's, I think there's a couple different levels, because you know you singing the songs with whoever's going to be, it's still going to sound like you, so that's not going to change the performance. You know, so they know what they're getting. It's kind of like just having more of their favorite personal favorites, you know.
Exactly. And I'd rather them have the personal favorites, you know. I'd rather it be what not what was, because it'll never be the same without Robin. Let's get
how are you going to take it right? And we've said that we all love Robin.
Yeah.
But when you've talked about you want the band together, if you want to tour, you've said you don't want to have the other guy come back again. So how would you handle would it be a 4-piece?
No, not at all. Rat is not a 4-piece. We've done that a couple of times. Never happened again. That's not who we are.
I'm saying you can't replace Robin. You didn't want to have Carlos back.
Well, you know what? If hell froze over and the band did get back together, I'm sure we'll, you know, touch base with who we think, you know, fits the job. But that's the only drag, you know, that Robin's not. He's here in spirit, but, you know, not out there, and nobody can replace him. But many have come close, and that's cool. That's cool. I just hate seeing Rat, with no disrespect, with these guys coming and going. That started bugging me, and that's why we're taking things a little slow right now, you know.
Well, that's fair. I was just kind of curious, because I know there's been names. Even I've joked with you about Jake, but the truth is Jake Ely wouldn't be a fit, truthfully, because historically he has his own bands, and he has his own jam, but he's his own person. So the question would be is to make that final piece of the puzzle that would be acceptable, that would be their own person but not be a replacement, is probably as big a puzzle piece as getting Warren, you know, on the same page at this point. Those might be those two pieces.
I mean, speculating, you know, Jakey and Rat, wow, interesting. But Jake's a one guitar guy.
Right. That's something that wouldn't fit in that. It'd be fun for music, but I don't see it as a full thing.
Yeah, that's why he pretty much left Mickey Rat and Rat in early on, is because I wanted a 2-guitar piece. Robin was jamming with us all the time, and he wanted to be the one guitar player, and that's what he is. He's great at being a one guitar player, Jake, you know. But he'd be great. I mean, come on. That's insane.
Well, if you're talking about people that would fit too, because if you're looking at trying to follow along the original line as close as you can of the lineage of Mickey Rat, that also fits in to be more authentic too.
Sure.
That's, you know, plus people love him. That's like a dream team. But
be authentic to the brand, you know. And Jake was part of the band, so hey, you know, once a Rat Bastard, always, you know.
Right. But that's not stopping you from doing your other stuff. So you are writing. You've got your double album. You're talking. You've pretty much said it out loud now enough. Talking double vinyl. Yeah. You doing vinyl? Is that expression, or you actually do vinyl?
The double record's going to come out, the solo one, in vinyl first, and I think we're only going to do about 1,500. Make it special for the fans, you know. And we have so much good music. I just decided, look, I'm writing like never before, So one record will probably be Eric and I, Ferrentinos.
Mhm.
And the other record, I'm just gonna, break out stuff like the EP, like I used to do, right? That kind of stuff is what I want. And we'll see what happens. But we have great songs, amazing. I can't wait to start
So on
recording.
yours, you're saying you do a lot of the guitar stuff yourself on that one and make it more of a
Oh
singing
yeah,
thing?
oh yeah. The second record will be more of my music writing. Yeah, yeah.
That'd be fun. That'd be actually interesting because I enjoy like especially a lot of the demos and anthologies you've been putting out. Those are kind of fun. I actually think I like some of the songs better than the repolished
Yeah.
versions. Actually,
I mean, look, I like having a good time. It's like tongue in cheek when we re-recorded "Girls on Film," and there you again, you get Christy in there doing the video and the. I mean, it's like I don't even have to think, but we all just did it as a joke. Hey, can you do this? Put this together? Oh, sure. Eric. I mean, let's go record Girls on Film. Why? Because there's this thing on Duran Duran. Remember when he disrespected me and he didn't want to take a photo? Yeah. So I went, here's your song, Simon. I re-recorded it for you. What do you think? Just for the hell of it,
have you actually heard any feedback from that? I'm sure. I wonder if that's crossed your radar yet.
No, I'm sure that would have been
I'd love.
nice.
Oh my God,
I'm
I would
sure
love
they
it.
saw a couple nickels and dimes.
It's funny. I would love to hear that. It's awesome. I actually saw it in interviews. You have a great little drum machine. Is it actually a Vox drum machine?
Oh yeah. This good, right? It's right here.
Yeah. So tell me about that. I'm a Vox guy myself. I got like
it's a little guitar thing. I have the Alesis and everything else, but if I'm just demoing an idea, it's a
I
funny.
love that. I saw that. I was like, oh, I gotta ask him.
Oh, I mean, it's serious. I mean, look. I mean, it's like, oh well, this one isn't plugged in, but I mean, it's that easy. Just throw that up and away you go. And my format of writing songs hasn't changed since we sat in Rat Mansion West, Warren, Robin, and me, and we're round and round. We had two cassettes. I mean, two cassette decks. And we just bounced ideas back and forth until at the end of the day, we had one cassette with both guitars and a vocal idea on it with some loose words. And it was brilliant. And that's how I still write,
One thought, as far as all the collaborations you're always doing, what about if you thought about, or if you haven't thought about it, what about doing an album-ish with your friends, like with your guitar, Jake Ely's, which we were talking about, like different guitar friends, like a song with different artists. You writing with artists, is that ever
I've kind of, I love doing those. I did Toys in the Attic with Tracy Guns for an Aerosmith tribute.
That's what made me kind of think about this. Is like, I'm like, you have so many other peers.
Yeah, I've done that. But you know what? We got something in the works that's going to really blow some minds. Talk about friends. Wait till you hear this one. This will come out in about a month. But yeah, I've thought about it, but I already do it. Like I say, I did a song with Jakey on one of those compilations. George Lynch, I've done some with him, and re-recorded some Mickey Rat songs actually with George. Probably pissed Warren off, but and I've done the Rod Stewart with Rat.
Right, you said it for other people though. I just kind of like a focus, like you're in control. You picked a song
with a bunch of other guys. Yeah, I'd like to do that. Not right now. It's not on in the cards, but that would be fun. That would be fun. I could write with anybody, dude.
Right. Well, knowing that you're writing, we've talked about it, playing guitar. So all these things kind of fall in together, and those pieces were for other people. Those projects set all over the place.
Right.
But they're really fun. It wasn't just like one off. You did a bunch of them, and they're all really kind of fun with different artists. I was like, wow, that'd be kind of neat if he controlled his own complete album.
Sure.
Of his friends coming in.
Well, you just gave me an idea. It's not one that I haven't had before, but now you're just instigated me in doing a record. So who knows?
Well, maybe that will
happen now. Now because of you, I'll probably end up doing it.
I think it'd be a good idea.
Oh, 100%. And there's some talented guys, and especially if they spent time in the Rat Bat, early Rat, it would be even better, like Jakey or Chris or
it's just a good tie-in.
Yeah.
It's a part of
Yeah.
your legacy, the long standing. The only thing is, I almost think with all this, you could have a soundtrack for all these pieces that you're doing. All three of your the Nothing to Lose the series you're doing right now. I almost think
Yeah.
you could actually put a soundtrack for that. Is that an idea, or
Well,
you got some songs in there?
now that we've got
piling on your workload.
Yeah, now that we've gotten through the first series, Nothing to Lose, introducing you to how Mickey Rat turned into Rat and created, and the big goal was the whiskey.
Yes.
All right, well, next one's going to be, well, shit. they're playing arenas now. They, shit's starting to happen. Out of the Cellar, opening for ZZ, opening for these guys. So the next one's going to be interesting, and that's where maybe the songs will start coming into play, because there are songs that Jake and I wrote. He doesn't know this. He thinks that we never co-wrote a song together. Jake, we did 2, and I have them, so they'll be heard. And this was back in 80, late 81, early 82. But Jake was a hot commodity back then, and Dio was after him, and then Ozzy ended up getting them, and Motley probably wanted to audition him. You're about to hear some good stories in the next one, I'll tell you.
Good. That's excellent. And I want to tell people to take the time and watch this first one. How long before the other one comes out? A couple more months between them?
Well, this took a little longer than we thought because of the whole mask gig.
Right,
and all
production
that.
takes a little bit longer too when you're editing, and Lord knows.
Yeah, probably I would say 4 months, 5 months, 4 or 5 months, 4.
That's fair.
Yeah, a lot can happen,
Yeah, and the thing is, the kind of style you do to edit, it's gotta be. I can't even imagine. Would you want to be in there editing all the footage? Because how much do you put in to keep the story going? This one is put together really well. It really kept the storyline.
Thank you.
Personally, kind of liked the walk through the house the best, and because it really showed you stopped emotion. And actually, I think that the part with you actually going through the photos, because you could have just done a photo thing, but it actually was like you were there, you're holding the photos, and it was a shared moment. It was a little bit different than you did just like putting them up on the screen. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you know what though? I literally have hundreds and hundreds, because I used to take photos off stage, on stage, in stage, out stage. I mean, there wasn't a moment that I didn't have some kind of camera going. When once Rat started kicking in 83, it was like somehow in my head I was thinking, you're going to document this in photos. And I did, without even really thinking about it, So there are so many photos. I mean, we could release 20 photo books. There will be a good one. There is going to be a Rat, a photo book coming up here real quick, a coffee table.
I think
book.
you got to at least have one
it's
good time.
Book. It's really time for some of this shit to go down.
I'm sure you have another book in you. You have you got a lot going on.
Yeah, and it's okay. I can handle it.
Well, good. So this has been fantastic. People go out and watch it and enjoy it and put the time. And there's actually bonus footage too.
Yeah,
it costs $5 to join. It's really easy. You sign in. It takes you 2 seconds. Then you can watch it as much as you want. And like I said, all the interviews from everybody's in the bottom part with the trailer. It's really fantastic. It's good.
Thank you. Yeah, we're looking forward. See, now that we know, how we got out of the gate there, the next 2 will be pretty comfortable. Yeah, because we know exactly what we're doing. I mean, it is planned out. It is script. It is put into perspective. It wasn't just winging it. Yeah.
I do have a video production back. I have an idea of how you do. That's why I was even more impressed, because before I did this, I've other stuff, behind the scenes. So that kind of production, to do it loosely but together and then edit it together and put together to be a story, was quite a chore.
Yeah, the guys at Brandon at Asai TV, who was production too, was pretty clever. I mean, it took a while. So now that we know what we're doing, we're familiar with the next steps. Yeah, we're gonna try to blow some minds on the next one. I mean, I've got photos that'll blow people's minds. You know, it's not just the band. It's,
Mhm.
you know, it could be another musician. It could be. It's gonna be a surprise.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, Steve, this as usual has been awesome. Good update. Thank you. We'll have to touch base again when the next one comes out or down the road. You got more stuff. But
Yes,
thank you.
100%. Thank you very much. Anything you want to know, officialstephenpearcy.com. Partners in
Right.
Crime are at it. And we've got some stuff out there, solo shows happening. So we'll pick it up here real quick.
All right, man. We will talk again soon. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you, brother.